Charged anything for it. Free content there on the news app. So you'll get these live streams occasionally. We'll be doing those every Monday and Friday at 10 p.m. with Jeff Hanowich. Every Monday with me between 7:30 and 8 a.m. And then as weather conditions warrant, we'll be doing those app casts on the 10 News app. So thank you guys for joining us here this morning. Let's go ahead and talk about this cold front as it's moving through the area. It doesn't necessarily feel very cold right now. It does feel pretty soggy, though. I'm sure some of you had to take the kids out to the bus stop in those conditions. A lot of heavy rain now in Pittsylvania, Halifax, and Charlotte counties. That rain is going to continue to move over the same areas, so let's kind of highlight that for you right around there. So could have some streams try to rise out of their banks a little bit in this particular portion of the area. The rest of us just dealing with some lighter, what we call stratiform or garden variety rain. Not going to pose any threat or any issues, just maybe mildly inconvenient for you on the morning commute this morning. So something to just keep an eye on as we make our way through the next few hours. This is not something that's going to last the entire day. So Future Tracker showing us just that as you see the heaviest little bit of rain along into the east of the parkway here over the course of the next hour or so. And then as we get closer to about 9-10 a.m., you see that garden variety rain that I was talking about along and to the east of the parkway. Getting comments here from Alessandro and Douglas. Good morning. Happy Friday. Those comments we're getting on Facebook Live, and I just got the alert on my phone that we are live on the 10 News app. So if you do have to get off of Facebook for any reason and you have our app on hand, you will get the same content, this same stream right now on there and on our YouTube channel. So many ways to get in touch with us here as we're trying out something new with these live streams. But let's go ahead toward the middle of the day here, and you notice that we're dry by then, but you've got some colder air coming in on the backside of this storm system, and you see that coming in out of the northwest. And what happens is that air piles up on some of the higher elevations. You'll hear us call this west slope or upslope snow. So areas like Greenbrier, Pocahontas, Highland counties, Mount Rogers, Burke's Garden, Mountain Lake, those are the areas that are going to see accumulating snow out of this. But the rest of us, if we do see anything make it over the mountains, it'll just be some novelty snowflakes as temperatures drop from morning to afternoon. Kind of a funky Friday weather-wise, no? As we start out with our high temperatures and then heading into the afternoon, we actually get colder. And a lot of that has to do with the wind. The wind is going to be picking up here as we go throughout the day. And that's why the National Weather Service has issued a wind advisory. So for areas like the New River Valley, the Roanoke Valley, parts of the Highlands, right along and to the west of the Blue Ridge Parkway. So if you draw a line from the middle of Patrick, Franklin, Bedford, and Amherst counties, draw that line and to the west, that's where your wind advisory is. And so we could see some down limbs, might have to do a little bit of cleanup in the yard tomorrow, and some spotty power outages will be possible because of these wind gusts. That combined with the fact that we've got a wet ground from Super Bowl Sunday and now from today, that could lead to some sporadic activity, whether it be tree damage or power outages. So do want to let you guys know about that, especially as we head beyond about 10 or 11 a.m. So once our cold front passes through, let me see if I can draw that on this map. Doesn't look like I can actually draw the front, but I'll go ahead and take this line anyways. So once the front passes through right about here, after 10 or 11 a.m., that's when the wind is going to get stronger. And you see the yellows there, that's your peak wind gusts. That's between about 30 and 45 miles per hour. So hence the wind advisory, hence why we're talking about the potential for some down limbs, power outages, things of that nature. Doris, good morning. Happy Friday. If you're watching this morning, let us know. If you're on Facebook, you can comment on the app. I'm not sure if you can comment on the app, but we'll go back and check that out. Nonetheless, happy to have you no matter how you're watching us on this morning. So the wind is also going to add a little insult to injury as we see colder air spilling in from morning to afternoon. That wind chill in some of the higher elevations will be in the 20s by 4 p.m., be in the 30s and 40s elsewhere. So if you've yet to leave for work, you step outside, you're like, hey, it actually doesn't feel too bad. bring the coat anyways. You're probably going to need it heading into the afternoon. And if you have evening plans, definitely make sure you have the coat. All right, temperatures in the 30s by the evening, but the wind making it feel like the teens and the 20s. Melanie, good morning. Happy Friday. Yeah, we've made it to Friday. Thankful for that. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this week has just dragged. But nonetheless, happy to have had some warmer weather and some time to get outside. Becky, watching on the app from Doug Spur, thank you very much. Happy Friday to you. Glad to have you here on this live stream. Now, heading into tomorrow morning, not a whole lot changes. Wind chills still in the teens and 20s. So bit of a shock to the system, right? Not just for us, but for some of the plants that have been blooming. It's February after all, and it's usually not until mid to late April before we see our last freeze. So unfortunately, we're not the only ones being fooled by this taste of spring. Nature is getting a little bit fooled as well. I actually saw a bee flying around me on my walk the other day. Had a stink bug outside my window. Can't stand those things, but nonetheless, it's been nice to have a little bit of warmth and time to get outside as daylight increases. Stay connected with our app. Again, if you are watching on that, thank you very much. No matter how you're watching us, we appreciate you on this Friday. But if you don't yet have our weather app, look up WSLS 10 Weather in your phone's app store. That way you can stay in the know with all things weather, even when we're not on the air. Stuart saying top of the morning from Johnson Mountain. Stuart, happy Friday. Hope all is well on top of Johnson Mountain. Looks like it is going to be a windy one, especially for you on the mountaintop. But the green light is on for your weekend plans. Even though tomorrow starts out really cold, the afternoon's about 50 to 55. Sunday, we'll have clouds in the morning, more sun by the afternoon, and will actually be pretty mild. Roger said, good morning. I don't want your wind. I am not the guy making that for you, but thankfully the weekend is shaping up, Roger. And even though today is very windy, yeah, it will be a little breezy Saturday and Sunday, but it actually works in our favor. So let me kind of show you what's happening by Sunday. Let's get our handy dandy arrow here. Southwest wind coming in on Sunday, so that's going to make things a little more mild for us heading into the afternoon. Erica, happy Friday in Collinsville, and Melanie saying, please keep the cold away. You're moving. Well, good luck with the move. Today, this afternoon, tomorrow morning is going to be cold, but if you still have some things to move by Sunday afternoon, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Temperatures by then 50s and 60s. Let's go ahead and take these arrows off. And you'll notice this front moves through, but it doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot. It may produce a stray shower on Monday, but where it stalls out, whenever you see those blue teeth and those red bubbles next to each other, that's a stationary front or a stalled front. And so where exactly that stalls out next week will determine our temperatures. It'll determine our rain chances as well. At the moment, looks like there's a chance for a few occasional showers on Tuesday and Wednesday, but it does appear as though we'll once again be turning milder. So our temperature seesaw continues here for the next several days. So that 61 you see on the extended forecast, that's for the Roanoke Valley, and that's pretty much your current temperature. Heading over the course of the next few hours, especially beyond 10 and 11 a.m., that's when temperatures are going to start to drop, and that's when you're going to notice wind speeds really picking up. So this is, again, kind of a backwards kind of day. You usually expect the warmest time to be during the afternoon. We all know that, but today that is not going to be the case. Tomorrow, 20s first thing in the morning. The wind adding insult to injury when it comes to the chill that we feel. 50s by the afternoon, back to 61 by Sunday afternoon. And as of right now, President's Day through next week, high temperatures in the 60s, could even get back into the 70s again next Thursday, just depending again on where that front I just showed you guys ends up. So expect this portion of the forecast to go through some changes as we get better, more refined forecast data, but at the moment doesn't look like anything wintry heading in our direction here for the next several days. Just some snow showers on our west-facing slopes once we get rid of this rain. And it is pouring in Southside. Let's go ahead and turn on some of the rain rates here, and when you get that green on this particular product, that's some heavy stuff. So definitely something we're watching out for in Southside as that heavy rain moves over the same areas. Could result in some streams rising close to, if not out of their banks. Let's go back to the home view here, make a couple adjustments, take off that flood warning because that is not for our area. Actually, hold on. there's a new flood warning for parts of Pocahontas County, and that is until 12:45. So this is right along, it looks like, Highway 39 near Huntersville in Pocahontas County, just east of Marlinton, if you're watching from that part of West Virginia and Pocahontas County. You've seen a decent amount of rain between yesterday and now this morning. But we'll back up the view again. Again, I'll make a few adjustments on my end just to kind of clean things up. We'll play this from the last hour. We'll slow down the radar speed. That way you guys get just kind of a general idea of how things are moving. Again, the heaviest stuff is in south side. That'll be moving out of the area. More light to moderate rain is coming in behind that. And then after 10 or 11, dry. And Melanie, yeah, it looks okay for next week. Not too bad out there, both with regards to how things feel. May have to dodge a few occasional showers, but overall does look as though temperatures are going to rise a little bit more heading into next week. So this cold snap, literally a snap, and then it's out of here, and we'll enjoy another taste of spring heading into next week. In the meantime, we've got a live update on 10 News coming up at about 7:57 and 8:26. That's during the Today Show, so we'll be with you guys covering this then, and you can check back with us at noon during your lunch break. I have a feeling that's going to be inside today as opposed to the past few days. So thank you again for joining us. It is about 7:45. Have a great Friday, a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.